Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the CISN Football Pregame Show. It is playoff edition here on the CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I am your host, Blake Walker. We still have a packed show ahead of you tonight for your top two games and only games here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Ankeny taking on Sioux City East, and Southeast Polk taking on Ames. We are going to look at all the playoff matchups coming up tonight. We're going to talk to some of the coaches, and then we'll wrap it up with a couple other things before we send you to the field for tonight's big games. We'll go straight into the playoff brackets, starting with Pod A. Dowling Catholic, the Maroons, at 8-1, host Davenport West, the 16 seed in the RPI. The West Falcons come in at 7-2. They were on the cutoff line last week. They got a win over Muscatine 35-13 to get in. Dowling has stayed consistent. Their only loss coming to Southeast Polk, but they do have that 17-10 win over Ankeny. That was a big difference maker in getting them at the number one position. This game, interesting when it comes to the passing game. Dowling Catholic, 1,827 passing yards. Davenport West, 1,056. 18 touchdown passes for Dowling overall, just 4 picks. Davenport West, 12 touchdowns and 4 picks. The running attack also pretty even. Dowling Catholic runs the 2 running backs system with Rashad Davis and CJ Phillip. Brady Hanson, the quarterback for Davenport West, leads the Falcons in rushing attempts. So that tells you what you need to know about Davenport West's offense. On the defensive side, Marvin Neely, a sophomore for Davenport West, he has been unbelievable this season. 57 tackles, 10 for loss, 4 sacks, and he's forced a fumble. Jimmy Wanick, the senior for Dowling Catholic, leads the team in tackles with 45. 4.5 tackles for loss, and 1 fumble recovery. Cooper Nicholson, the big guy in the receiving game, 42 receptions, 640 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Dalton Thompson leads Davenport West, 21 catches, 342 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And then Jackson Smolik for Dowling Catholic has been absolutely on fire the last couple weeks, starting to really pick it up. The Penn State recruit looks great. He will be a big factor in this one for Dowling Catholic and Davenport West. That game kicks off at 7 o'clock at Des Moines East Stadium, not Valley Stadium. Des Moines East Stadium is where that one will kick off. And the second game on the other side of the small bracket in Pod A, Cedar Rapids Kennedy, the Cougars at 7-2 hosts the Waukee Northwest Wolves at 5-7. This game, pretty good. Should be a pretty good game. Waukee Northwest has won 5 of the last 4 games. Cedar Rapids Kennedy currently 2-2 in their last 4 games with losses to Johnston and Cedar Falls. They throttled Davenport West 44-0, and they beat Dubuque Hempstead 41-0. Waukee Northwest coming off a win over Urbandale 22-7 in a game that they had to win. Ankeny, they lost to 31-7. Sam Johnson is the main guy for Waukee Northwest, both a passer and a runner. Brady Grisham, also very talented on the ground this year, 828 yards. And then Chase Lamb at the defensive position, only a junior, 68.5 tackles, 5.5 for loss, 1 sack, and 2 fumble recoveries. Donovan Slick Driscoll, the running back for Cedar Rapids Kennedy, 645 yards, also 121 yards receiving. And then Cyrus Courtney, the junior, 31 receptions this year, 464 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Cedar Rapids Kennedy better in the rushing game and better in the passing game, but Waukee Northwest has played a much harder schedule. Should be an interesting game where we could possibly get a Waukee Northwest Dowling Catholic rematch in round 2. Pod B on tap. First game, Southeast Polk 8-1 are the Rams versus the Ames Little Cyclones at 6-3. Ames 6-3 on the year. Pretty much all the best teams they've faced, they have not beaten. Losses to Johnston last week, 31-9. That put them so far back in the RPI. A loss to Dowling and a loss to Iowa City High. Southeast Polk 8-1 on the season, only lost to Ankeny. Connor Moberly and Abu Sama, very good in the backfield. Abu Sama injured a little bit of this season. He's back. Harrison Gibson leads the team in rushing yards with 923. He is going to be big. And we can't forget about the offensive lineman. Caden Proctor, one of the best offensive linemen in the country, currently slated to go to the University of Iowa. Ames on the other side, you may have heard of their passing attack. Dallas Salzer, 3,088 yards this season. That leads Class 5A. That leads the state of Iowa. 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Jamison Poe, the running back, very solid. And then Jalen Luth, we'll talk about him later, 1,242 yards, 13 touchdowns on 74 catches. He is unbelievable. The story of this one, can Ames' passing attack keep up with Southeast Polk, and can the Rams' defense shut down Ames' passing attack? Should be a good game here in round 1. The other game on the docket right across from them, it's a rematch. Does it look familiar? Because we're all having deja vu. Linn-Mar at 6-3. The Lions go to Cedar Rapids Prairie, who is also 6-3. And by that, I mean these two teams literally played last week in the same exact place. Linn-Mar beat Prairie in Prairie 28-13, but it wasn't enough to give the Lions the home field advantage. So they got to go back, and it just didn't work out in the right way to be able to get a different matchup. Cal Sullivan leads Prairie on the offensive side. Austin Waller, just a sophomore quarterback for Linn-Mar. He has been solid. 11 rushing touchdowns, or 11 touchdowns on the season with 1,093 yards. Defensively, both these two teams are very, very solid. Nick Powell and Jackson Severson also big for Linn-Mar and Prairie. And, overall, Linn-Mar, since that win against Prairie last week, their last win against the Hawks was 2014, 35-9. So Prairie has dominated the series as of late, but Linn-Mar will look to pull another win out of the back and hopefully can move on to the second round, but set up a great Linn-Mar Southeast Polk matchup. Pod C is where we're headed next. It's the Ankeny Hawks at 8-1 hosting the Sioux City East Black Raiders at 7-2. Sioux City East only loss on the season are to Ankeny Centennial by 3 points and Waukee Northwest by 10 points. They are led by their senior quarterback, Cole Ritchie, who in the last 2 games has tossed 9 touchdowns last week and 8 touchdowns 2 weeks ago. He has 31 total touchdowns on the year. He has been unbelievable, 2,559 yards. But we can't forget the other side. J.J. Cole and his stacked offense of Jason Williams at running back and Jamison Patton at receiving, and then you can't forget PJ Westover in that defense. This is going to be a game of a lot of passing. It's who can shut down the passing game is going to be the end-all, be-all factor. Ankeny holds the rushing advantage, 1,440 yards to Sioux City East, 891. The last time these two teams play, you got to go back to 2019. Ankeny came away with the victory, 45-7. The Hawks will be tested by a pretty much exact replica of what they are. Should be a great game on CISN tonight. On to our next one in Pod C, probably one of the best games overall. It is Iowa City High on the road. The Little Hawks at 6-3 come to Johnston to take on the Dragons, who are 6-3. Johnston has started to find their groove. In the last 5 games, they've won 4 of them. Their only loss coming to Dowling. They took care of Cedar Rapids Kennedy and Ames with ease the last 2 weeks. Iowa City High, in pretty much every game that wasn't Dowling, Pleasant Valley, or Iowa City Liberty, they have dominated, beating Davenport West 55-6 and beating Iowa City West 49-0, Davenport Central 79-0. They are led by their junior quarterback Drew Lawson, Ronnie Major at running back, and then Ben Cater, the senior linebacker, 87 tackles on the season, 23 for loss, 7 sacks, and 1 fumble recovery. He is one of the best defensive players in the state. He will cause nightmares for a Johnston offense led by a sophomore quarterback, Will Nuss, who has really picked it up the last couple of weeks. Rushing, Iowa City High leads that category, and passing, Iowa City High leads the category. But it's the Johnston defense that's only given up 9, 7, 6, 19, and 6, or 42 and 6 in their last 5 games. This one is going to be an all-out brawl to see who can move on to round 2 to take on either Ankeny or Sioux City East. And finally, Pod D. It is Pleasant Valley, the Spartans, the only undefeated team left in Class 5A, taking on the Valley Tigers of 5-4. Valley took care of Des Moines Roosevelt 54-29 to advance into the playoffs. Pleasant Valley was tied with Iowa City West at halftime, 14-14, ended up cruising and pulling away 35-14 to win to hold on. This is a game of running, and it's by 2 quarterbacks that love to run the ball. Michael Provenza for Valley, 398 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. He's had magical plays all season. And then Caden McDermott of Pleasant Valley, 619 passing yards, 641 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns in the air, 12 touchdowns on the ground. You will never find a more consistent quarterback than Caden McDermott with Pleasant Valley. They are legit. Coy Cooper in the receiving side for Pleasant Valley, very solid. And then Aiden Price in the receiving side for Valley. Both are going to be hard to go against. These two teams met last year in the playoffs, and it was Valley who came away with the win to make it to the state tournament. 40-14 was the final score. They're 2 very different teams than they were now. Caden McDermott was the quarterback last year. He'll look to get revenge against a Valley team that has upsets all over the board and would love to get a big win over Pleasant Valley here on Friday night. Next game we're looking at is Cedar Falls and Ankeny Centennial. This game, you're getting deja vu again. Well, I am, because these two teams played just a couple weeks ago, and it was Ankeny Centennial who came away with the victory, 28-14. As I was on the sideline for that one, Centennial was the better team. Cedar Falls has improved just a little bit the last couple weeks, have had a couple scares against Bettendorf and Dubuque Senior, but a big win over Cedar Rapids Kennedy jumped the Tigers into a home field advantage spot. Centennial's been great with Trenton Smith in the air. Drake Gelhaus for Cedar Falls is running hard, 1,269 yards on the ground with 13 touchdowns. The big difference maker in this one is going to be the defenses, Drew Gertis, and don't forget about Jack Campbell's younger brother at the defensive end position for Cedar Falls, Zach English, as well, going to be big for Centennial on the defensive side. This one is going to be a one to watch, and a possible upset bid again is Cedar Falls hosting Ankeny Centennial at the Unidome. Should be a good one here tonight. That is a look at all your playoff matchups for tonight in Class 5A. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back to highlight some of the big players you'll see in tonight's games here on the Central Iowa Sports Network and forward. You're watching the CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app. today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
Armin certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all Armin certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. Armin Ford Indianola, Armin Automotive Knoxville, DeArminAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors, and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show. It is playoff edition here, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I'm your host, Blake Walker. We're going to wrap up the show today by looking at some of the top athletes that you will be seeing in our 2 games tonight of 4 teams here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. First player that we want to take a look at for the first team, Ankeny's top player to watch. It is the senior number 2, Jamison Patton, the former Roosevelt transfer who has been phenomenal this season. 50 catches for 680 yards and 4 touchdowns, 13.6 yards per carry. He has his longest catch being 49 yards. He has breakaway speed. He's one of the toughest players on the field. He is going to be one to watch tonight, along with the rushing attack, 11 carries, 86 yards, 7.8 yards per carry, and 1 rushing touchdown. Jamison Patton will be a problem tonight for the Sioux City East defense. And for Sioux City East, the top player to watch, it's a no-brainer. It's the senior number 12, Cole Ritchie, who has been on an absolute tear this season. 184 for 278 in the passing game, 62% completion percentage, 2,559 yards. That's 13.9 yards per carry, 31 touchdowns this season, including 17 in his last 2 games. and 4 interceptions on the year. Cole Ritchie is one of the most, perfect quarterbacks you will watch this season. He makes great decisions. He's hard to beat. He is going to keep the Black Raiders in this game, and he's the reason they have a playoff spot like they do now. So look for Jamison Patton and Cole Ritchie tonight between Ankeny and Sioux City East. And for Southeast Polk, our top player to watch, number 3, the senior Abu Sama, because why not? To 88 carries this year, 718 yards, 8.2 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns, his longest being 72 yards. You got to think, Abu Sama didn't even play every single game this year, and he's put up those numbers. Absolutely phenomenal by the senior running back, and also pretty solid in the receiving game. 8 receptions, 126 yards, 15.8 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown. Matt Campbell is going to get an absolutely unbelievable running back next year. Abu Sama is going to be a hard one to beat, especially for the Little Cyclones defense. And for the Ames Little Cyclones, the top player to watch, it's the wide receiver. It is Jalen Luth, the senior, number 5. He has been unbelievable. When you have a quarterback like Dallas Salzer who's tossing so many touchdowns, he's going to have one main wide receiver, and he sure has one in Jalen Luth. 74 catches, 1,242 yards of receiving yards, 16.8 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns, and 85 yards as his longest touchdown reception. He has been absolutely unbelievable this year. You cannot underestimate Jalen Luth. He is going to be a matchup problem if Southeast Polk can't cover him. They don't have an Xavier Wonkpa anymore, so Jalen Luth could be a huge factor tonight. He is a player to watch for the Ames Little Cyclones against the Southeast Polk Rams. That will do it for us tonight here on the CISN Football Pregame Show, Playoff Edition, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I am your host, Blake Walker. We want to thank you all for watching all season long and tonight's show. We hope you enjoy the big game tonight. It's playoff time. It's win or go home. We're going to send it down to the...
As we say goodbye to October and start heading toward November, tonight, the defending champions in 5A, Southeast Polk, they went through the regular season at 8-1. They're going to take on a high-flying Ames team tonight. Dar Danielson here along with Blake Walker. And Blake, when you look at the stats, some of those stats for Ames and Southeast Polk, it looks like it might be a mismatch, but when you look at the teams they played in records and you kind of get maybe a little bit of that comparison there, then those stats start to not look as gaudy on the Ames side of it, do they?
Yeah, Southeast Polk has played the better schedule, and that's pretty straightforward. We know that. They play all these CIML schools. Ames, the 3 losses, Iowa City High, Johnston, and then along with Dowling Catholic, they were beat pretty badly against those teams. But Ames, the passing game is what they're going to rely on. They have currently a top 10 quarterback ever to play in the state of Iowa, statistically passing yards. Dallas Salzer ranks 8th all-time in passing yards. This season, over 3,000 yards passing. He has been unbelievable. Southeast Polk really hasn't seen a passer quite like that this year, but they haven't seen a defense like Southeast Polk yet.
And for the Rams, they kind of reloaded. They lost their quarterback. They come in to have another one that's played outstanding this year. Running backs defensively. They got big Caden Proctor there on the line. So they're at a point where, for them, it is reloading almost, it seems like, here as they win the title. And they were on the verge of it, too, a couple other times, and they just come right back out and go through the regular season. The one game they lost to Ankeny in a rematch of the championship game, but Sama was out. He was out for a few games there, and so, it's hard to say. I think they could be right up there as one of the favorites right now.
It's Dowling, Ankeny, Southeast Polk, and everybody's thinking Dowling versus Southeast Polk in the title game, and I'm sure Dowling wants another chance at Southeast Polk. Southeast Polk wants another chance at Ankeny. So there's a lot to look forward to tonight. Again, statistically, Southeast Polk is better, but Ames is a tricky team. Coach Salzer's been doing this for a long time. Should be interesting to see how this one shakes out tonight.
And you can get hot in the playoffs, and that team – I want to say Southeast Polk has, the target on their back, but I talked with the coach in the past, and he said, we've been up here so many times and rated so high, and then last year they finally pushed through, got the big trophy. But he said, we're kind of used to that now, and when you play in this league, we know, you could go through, have a perfect regular season, then you got to face Valley or Dowling or, Waukee or one of those, and it could all be gone in a game. So, that pressure of having everybody shoot for you isn't. I think maybe a little bit of that with the way Dowling is played might be on them right now as a team. Everybody's kind of looking at them, and I think Southeast Polk doesn't care about that. They'd be happy just to kind of move right along with all the spotlight on Dowling.
And they have to be happy that they've had Ankeny and Dowling in their schedule, and they've had Waukee Northwest, and they've had these tough teams. Overall, Southeast Polk prepared more for the playoffs than any other team in the playoffs in Class 5A right now.
We'll talk a bit more about that. We'll talk about, too, the father-son combination we have here for Ames High. We saw that at Waukee. Well, we'll talk about a little bit more about that when we come back. We're going to take a break here, getting ready for playoff football here on CISN.TV.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors, and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday,
and we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Here at Southeast Polk, getting ready for playoff football. You see the Rams coming on to the field. Big Caden Proctor, number 74. They're towering over everybody. But quickly, let's talk about Sauser and coaching his son. And seems like it's a great deal. They're both having a good time with this.
Yeah, I mean, they've been together. He's been with his 2 sons. He has 2 sons. Dodge Sauser, currently at Iowa State as a tackle, started in Grinnell together. Brian was the head coach at Grinnell a couple of years ago, got Grinnell to the playoffs. Dodge graduated. Dallas was a quarterback starter as a freshman at Grinnell, has played all 4 years. Once Dodge moves to Ames to play for Iowa State, the Sausers move to Ames. Sauser becomes the head coach here and gets him back to the playoffs. So he's a coach that knows how to get the job done. I know him personally. He's a great guy. I know Dallas personally. He's great. Very talented family who loves football very much. And it's a shame we won't see any Sausers on the field at least next year.
Well, we're waiting Ames to come back out, and we're about ready to take a break here. We'll do that, and we'll be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary, losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you. Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas at Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car, so to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
We are at Southeast Polk getting ready to start the playoffs, Class 5A. Dar Danielson, Blake Walker with you here tonight as the Rams start their defense. Or their road back to try to get back and defend their title anyway. And let's talk a little bit. We've talked about some of the keys, but a couple of the keys for these two teams here tonight.
I think for Ames, I was talking to Salzer, and he said that the biggest thing tonight is you have to get out early and you have to survive the first quarter. Southeast Polk has gotten up on teams early a lot this year. Big thing in that Ankeny game that they lost. They didn't get out front early and kind of contain Connor Moberly. I know he's still young, but he's starting to figure it out and use your offense to your key for Ames. For Southeast Polk, it's use the ground game. I think Ames doesn't really have a ton of size up front to shut down Abu Sama and Harrison Gibson. I think it's going to be a really good game up front for Southeast Polk, and run right, or run for Proctor. I think that's going to be the thing.
Well, the thing with Sama, he can run over Proctor or he can run anywhere,
yeah,
it seems like.
Yes, he can.
Ames decided they want to toss. They're going to take the ball first and put it out there. So, there's a different thinking on that, how you want to do that. Sometimes you want your defense to come out first, but here they're going to come out and put the offense out there and see what they can do.
I can tell you right now, it doesn't feel like Ames would go about tonight as, let's just hold on to the football. Let's just take time.
Yeah, take time.
I feel like they want to come out, they want to score.
Well, but that's the thing. You can't, I've talked to all these coaches, and, they say, well, you can put a few wrinkles in, maybe some trick plays in for the playoffs, but you can't come out and just change, this whole thing where you look at it sometimes. Like Rocky, I'm going to start not fight southpaw. You can't do that here. You come out and you got to play your game, and hopefully you don't turn it over and you get some plays and make some plays, and you can stay in the ball game as you said. Bielner back deep to receive. One of the Ames High Little Cyclones ready to go here. Wilson kicking it off, and he's going to kick it off into the end zone for touchback. So Ames will take over First and 10 at the 20.
Led out by their junior quarterback, Connor Moberly. 10 touchdowns, 3 picks on the year, 1,407 yards. A good replacement after last year's departure. I think he has fit into the quarterback role nicely, and when the running game's been like it is, especially for quarterback for Southeast Polk, it's going to be big when we see them on offense. But Dallas Sauser for Ames, he is also very solid, over 3,000 yards passing in the air. Excited to see Dallas on this first drive, 28 touchdowns, 11 picks.
Bobby Youthy, Jackson Getters, Corbin Blair, Andy Converse, Kevin Fernandez, the front line for Ames. As here's a snap, they throw it out quickly, out in the flat, caught, and up close to a first down.
It's number 45, the sophomore Deshaun Long. Second most catches on the season behind the big man Jalen Luth, who will be the top receiver tonight. Long, 48 catches, 560 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This is what you're going to see from Ames tonight. Very quick passes. Get Sauser, get the ball out of his hands quick because he can't afford to be hit.
Up to the line quickly, Sauser with it, single back in the backfield. Now they look over again. And he'll step back. Takes the snap, hands it off, looking for room up the middle, sneaks in through there, gets a few yards.
Jamison Poe, sophomore running back. Not very big, but for a sophomore, he's going to be a big guy here in the next couple of years for Ames. 817 yards and 13 touchdowns. He's fun to watch in the backfield.
But a good pickup there. 2nd and 5, ball on the 36. They look to the sideline again, Sauser.
This is what they like to do. See what the defense is in, then adjust to it.
Play clock at 6. There's the snap, fakes, now throws it out to the marker quickly over there, and it's caught. And looked like he had to come back to get the pass, so they're going to be about a yard short.
Tristan Angus, the senior wide receiver. We've seen that play twice now, just quick little outs.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
And right here, the playbook's wide open for Ames. You can run it, you can pass it. You only need a yard.
So Sauser back, Poe behind him. Look to the sideline again. And hand off to Poe. Poe looking for room, guts room, cuts across up to the 45, still going. Knocked out of bounds, just shy of the 50 on the far sideline. That'll be another Ames first down.
Seems like early Southeast Polk is sitting and staring just a little bit more. They're sitting, waiting, then go. I feel like they got to attack. Trust your instincts just a little bit more because Ames is catching them off guard.
Well, Ames, they're taking the whole play clock. They're taking their time looking over. And
we were wrong, of course.
Yeah, but they were going to slow it down.
Yeah,
they're going to use the play clock a little bit. We talked like they might, but
it's a fake hurry up. You might as well. Who needs a huddle anymore?
They get up there and high snap, hand off to Poe. Poe, a little skip, and he gets through the middle there. He's going to be just shy of the 50. So pick up of about 4.
And the thing with Jamison is he's not that big, so he's so easy to just kind of sneak through. He's 5'8", 160 pounds. Hard to tackle. You got to get pretty down low to go and get him.
So again, 3 receivers right. Poe behind Sauser.
And with 3 wide receivers bunched, you get these crossing patterns. It's hard for these DBs to cover your guy when you're trying to run over top of each other. It's a sneaky way to play that wide receiver game.
Play clock still rolling down to 19, taking a lot of time.
And I know some people are going to look at this and say it's boring football, but this is how Ames can win this football game. Don't give the ball to Southeast Polk. And it gets these defenders frustrated.
Play clock at 4. They snap it, hand it off. Poe through there. Looked like he got hit and kept moving, and now he's going to be just about a yard shy of the first down. So played through the initial contact.
And he's shifty in the backfield. I mean, most of the time he's going to go right up the gut, but if he can bounce it outside, he's got enough speed to do it. And finally, we're going to see a wide receiver here out to the left. Abu Sama gets to cover Jalen Luth.
Luth comes out to the left. They'll leave 2 more. Another one over to the right. Bring in a couple slot backs there.
And Jalen's tall, 6'3". That's a reason why he's getting all these catches. Abu Sama coming in at only 5'11".
Hand off right up the middle. Plows quickly through and all the way down to the 40-yard line. Needed 1. He got 5 for the first down.
Well, I tell you what, though, I'm impressed by the front 5 push by Ames. I mean, Southeast Polk, not really a ton of pressure up front. They're not really blitzing a ton because you have to respect the passing game when it's been so good.
Yeah, and then you just kind of have to wait. When are they going to snap it? You have to, play clock to 15 here. This time they send all the receivers back to the right side once again.
As a quarterback, you love that they put the clocks in the end zone for the plays, for the play clock.
Snapped it with 5 to go. Wings it out there quickly. Caught on the far side and all the way up. Big pickup. He'll be down to about the 30 and be just a yard shy over there.
Broken coverage on the far sideline. Once again, I think that was, it wasn't Angus 45, so that would be
Deshaun Long.
Yep, Deshaun Long. But no one was over there. It was just him.
Now they move Luth over here to this side. Single back behind Sauser.
Already almost 5 minutes taken off the clock here so far.
So they look over again. And they snap it with 3 to go. Handoff right up the middle. He'll get the first down again as Poe.
Tell you what, the tackles were able to come back, and you think they're going to get room. Instead, they kind of switch things up. They're going to put in Caden Proctor on the defensive line now to try to beef it up a little bit more. And are they going to measure? Looks like the first down was not placed correctly.
Yeah, I don't think.
I am not sure. Yeah, I don't think the first down was placed correctly.
No, I think they had to stretch that, move that chain back.
I mean, it's pretty crowded over there on the sideline.
Yeah. But
it's going to be short.
Yeah, it'll be
about half a yard.
Yeah, they need to get down to what, the 28?
Sauser's trying to get his explanation on the first down, why it wasn't there in the first place. Doesn't hurt too much. I mean, you're still getting second and short, but.
Yeah, so you got a lot of options right here.
Yeah,
second down and short.
That's the problem for Southeast Polk. What do you do? They still got confusion here. And the officials.
Well, he calls a timeout. Yeah. They're going to talk about it.
I don't know, because now I guess they're trying to think, was it originally a first down? Nope, they're going to say it's remaining second. Third down.
Third.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen that, where the marker or the first down marker was not placed correctly.
Well, then they don't have the number over there.
No, it's still got second down on the board.
Well, they keep the little rubber bands on their fingers. They're supposed to, the officials, so that they know what down it is. And here we're waiting again. They've been snapping it about 3 or 4 seconds to go on the play clock. This time a little earlier, handoff, and this time plowed up right in the middle there is Draven Woods. He plugged the hole.
Well, that time it was an all-out blitz up the middle, and Southeast Polk said, if you're going to keep trying it, we'll test you. Granted, they put in Proctor, so they got a better push up front, and for good reason, Ames is going to go for this.
Well, I don't have them with a field goal. Or wait, no, here we go, 2 field goals, okay. I was looking at their PAT guy.
And they go 3 wide receivers again. You can just expect quick. Yeah. I mean, Long might be the one here.
3 out to the left. 4th and 3. The ball on the 31 of Southeast Polk. Handoff Poe. He skips through. He dives ahead. I don't know if he's got it.
I don't think
he does. He's going to be short.
I don't hate the call because if you spread them out, I mean, I think everybody in the stadium thought it was going to be a pass. No way you'd go back to the run, but Poe, a couple moves, just couldn't do it.
They didn't even do play action. You know, I thought maybe they do that, but that's not. I mean, he's been throwing that quick outside there, but they may have squeezed down on that. So now, with 5:58 to go, Southeast Polk will take over here.
It's tough wind out of the sails for Ames. A long, methodical drive. And now you get a boost. Sama, top running back, one of the top.
1st and 10 at the 29 here. for Moberly. Sama, hands off, looking, cutting outside, trying to get the corner. Stiff arm, still going across the 40, up to the 49, 48-yard line.
You're about to see day and night transitions from the Ames offense to the Southeast Polk offense. They like to move quick, and Abu Sama, watch this move. Just boom, sees the hole's going to go. And how about the stiff
arm? Boom.
Unbelievable job. Matt Campbell is going to get a heck of a running back at Iowa State.
They flip their 2 receivers over. Flip 2 others, a tight end on this side. Sam Good. Hands off, right in behind that tight end, up the sideline, up the middle, the hash mark, 10, 5, touchdown. 52 yards, 2 plays.
Referees are talking back here, though. And we're going to have a false start on our illegal formation on Southeast Polk.
Yeah, there's a flag on the very far side of the field.
But I tell you what, that illegal formation really didn't have anything to do with that play. That was just unbelievable blocking upfield. And Sama, he runs like Le'Veon Bell did when he was with the Steelers. He just sits back, waits
and looks,
then goes.
And goes.
And that is so good when a running back can do this. Watch this. He's like barely jogging, then boom, hits the hole and he's gone. And Ames has no speed to catch him.
They gave up back about the 20 because they thought, nah, we aren't catching him. So that'll move it back and make it 1st and 15 at the 43.
Yeah, the game tonight could be won for Ames on defense with these linebackers. Linebackers have to be consistent and stay home.
Trips to the left, now hand off, and this time they get Sama right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe give him a yard.
And that was all thanks to Long off the edge. He came off a great blitz. Nobody picked him up and grabbed him right when he came across the line of scrimmage. And a good job by number 40, the linebacker, Roger Lopez, the junior. He came up, laid the big hit on Sama.
Sama comes out. Harrison Gibson comes in for Sama now. They sent 2 receivers left, 1 right.
Gibson's still very good.
Yeah.
900 yards on the season.
5'10", 190-pound senior. And fake. Now throw it. And through the hands, picked off. Picked off at the 45 by Ames.
Well, and the thing is, this isn't too fancy. It's just Moberly puts a lot of steam on it.
Let's see the... Yeah, it went through the hands there.
This is Cameron Cantawine who makes the catch. Yeah, it's just simply too far through the hands of Carson Robbins, the wide receiver, top wide receiver. You don't expect that from your top wide receiver in the playoffs, but Ames catches a huge break.
So now it's 1st and 10 at the 46, their own 46 for Ames.
Boy, talk about a big flag.
Swing of momentum. Yeah, they had a touchdown, and then they bring it back, and then they get the turnover here. And Sauser's back out. Wings it out in the flat. Has a man out there. Is Deshaun Long. And he'll pick up about 4.
No throws to Luth tonight. He's been covered well by Sama. Long might be that second option here. But these short little dump-offs, they are very afraid to go over the middle. We have seen nothing over the middle for Ames.
2nd and 7. They'll give him 3 on that. And Trey Nave comes over to
perfect drive here for Ames. Ends at the quarter.
Drops back, throws it, has patience, hits the man up the sideline. He's going to be knocked out just short. On the far side over there again.
Reminds me of Penn State's offense with James Franklin when he had KJ Hamler and those guys. Quick. I mean, just quick. If you can hit the sideline, it's called, if you want to guard us, go man-to-man. Don't run zone.
And it negates your rush,
yes,
too,
it
because
does.
those big guys up front, you got it away before they can even think about coming in.
Because Southeast Polk has not done zone yet, or has not gone man. They've stayed back in that zone look. And Ames is taking advantage of it all day because they know, well, we can get it to the flat in time.
3rd and 1 at the 45 of Southeast Polk. Ames in their territory for the 2nd time. Here's a handoff, jumps it outside, and he's going to get just enough to get the first down. Is Jamison Poe. As a little hop outside.
I mean, I don't. Are they going to mark this? Are they saying he's short?
Doesn't look like it looking down the line here.
It sure does look like he's got it.
Because the marker's right at the hash mark and the ball's on the other side of the hash mark here.
I'm not really sure why they're looking at this.
I mean, the field doesn't crown that much that it throws you off.
I was going to say.
Yeah, because you see the ball, the ball's over the hash mark and the end of the stick was on the hash mark.
I would be stunned if this isn't a first down. Yeah.
Yeah, but the football, that's
by a football.
Well, that's what I thought. The back end of that football was on the hash mark and the stick was in the mark over there.
I tell you what, if you're Southeast Polk, this is some frustrating offense because you feel like you're so much better, which statistically you are, but they're just kind of nickeling and diming you.
Yeah, they showed they had the big play, but unfortunately the penalty for illegal formation.
It's like the tortoise and the hare right now.
Yeah.
I want to see this passing game open up just a little bit, but I think Ames is still kind of timid with how well the DBs and linebackers of Southeast Polk have been playing.
Send a tight end in the slot there. Two of them right to the right. Sauser. And off to Poe. He drives it right up the gut and keeps the legs churning and gets down just inside the 40 for a pretty good pickup.
I tell you what, he's averaging about 5 yards per carry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting a good push by his offensive linemen who are
and he's hitting the hole real quick
yes,
there.
He's
right in behind him and hitting it quick.
Yes, he is. And that's the thing. I mean, you look at the O-line comparison to the D-line. Again, size. I mean, they're outsized, but they're out-muscle them here early.
Sauser. He looked to the sideline. Play clock at 7. High snap. He gets it to Poe. Poe right straight up. And it'll bring up a 3rd and short for Ames.
Well, and Sauser's averaging about almost 40 passes per game. So, I mean, it's just kind of interesting to see him on the ground. And now Southeast Polk says, all right, you got a 3rd and short. We're going to put in Caden Proctor on the defensive line, which really he doesn't play D-line a ton. So now, as a nose guard, you have to account for 72.
That's going to plug up a lot of space in the middle.
Now you're like, maybe we want to bounce this.
But Poe has shown the ability to do that. Play clock down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Will he get it off? They do. High snap over the head of the quarterback. Race to the football. Did he get it? I think Sauser got on it between his legs there back at the 45. It's going to be a huge loss.
Ooh, they're going to call it Ames ball.
I think he was on it.
Well, you saw the play before the snap was high.
Well, you're looking over at Caden Proctor. I'd snap it high too.
He is literally looking up at the top guard in the country, in the United States.
I mean, you're playing in the shadow snapping the ball now, and Proctor's leaning over you.
I'd be a little timid as well.
I'm not exaggerating. When you see him out there on the field, it just seems like so.
You want to get that thing out as quick as you can.
Yeah, we'll see the punter in. And fair catch called for, taken at the 20-yard line.
That game kind of died in midair. That was a weird punt. There's really no wind. There is no wind tonight, but.
Oh, it's at the 30, excuse me. 1st and 10 at the 30 for Southeast Polk.
And if you're on Ames, you almost breathe better when you're on offense. Because when you're on defense, you're like, okay, if we get down.
Well, we got a minute 16 to go, and the time of possession is heavily at Ames.
Yeah.
I mean, Southeast Polk only had it for like 3 plays before the turnover. And so now Moberly brings it back out.
Yeah, Gibson in the backfield again.
Yeah, Gibson in there for Sama. Wings it out to the flat, has a man. Stiff arms, moves it up. Still going up the sideline, and then gets knocked out. Joe Zelenovich, the senior, with the big catch in the flat, and just turned and took it upfield.
The stiff arm is not Ames' friend tonight. That's another big stiff arm. Ames not getting low. They're going high, and Zelenovich.
Aaron, he stiff-armed the tackle.
How about the downhill speed?
Yeah, and they just right up the sideline. Boom.
Very impressive by Zelenovic. And just like that, Southeast Polk is in Ames territory.
Zelenovic slips over to the left. Cooper Boutel came in. He's over at the left side there for Southeast Polk. Handoff to the back, and he wends his way up. Harrison Gibson, right side. And he'll pick up about 4.
Same thing. Put that arm out, kind of guide your lineman and say, all right, let's get them to move where I want them to go, and it gets you a gain of 4. I like the approach by the Southeast Polk running backs so far.
2nd and 7 at the 42.
Gibson on the carry. Carried by Roger Lopez.
And 40 seconds to play here, first quarter. No score. We had one, but it was called back. Moberly sends 3 receivers left this time.
Watch Sama. He's kind of slipped back a little here on this near side.
Yeah, Sama here on the right. Look for him. He stops. Oh, off the hands. And that'll bring up.
I like the play call because he could have gotten upfield, but his eyes were upfield and his body was still there.
He turned and was
just
thinking,
gotta catch it before you get it.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Sama on the inside receiver here on the bottom of your screen.
Tell you what, I give credit to Ames right end, Brett Berkheimer. He's the one going up against Proctor here on that left tackle spot.
Drops back down. He's going to take it himself, Moberly, and he's going to be short of the first down. And what do you do here? Do you punt or?
I feel like your offense has been so good. I just feel like you got to keep it on the field.
I agree with you.
If you trust your defense.
4th and 3.
Moberly doesn't take off a ton. That's only his 23rd attempt to run the ball all season. Zelenovic is going to call a timeout.
Oh, that's the end of the quarter.
End of the quarter.
The quarter's over already. Yeah,
we're moving.
Well, the end of the first quarter, no score here. Southeast Polk got the big 4th down coming up after this on CISN.TV.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
We'll go to the second quarter here. Southeast Polk with the ball. 4th and 3 on their own 38 to start the second quarter. No score here against Ames, and what was a fast, kind of a strange first quarter. Sama now in the backfield. They fake it to him. Look deep, throw it out. Got a man wide open. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Carson Robbins.
I tell you what, Carson makes a heck of a move on Cameron Strawhacker. He thinks he's going inside. He cuts right back outside, and Strawhacker just gets left behind. And Carson Robbins, too fast, too good, wide open.
There he is, caught him, and took all of 7 seconds of the third quarter for them to score. And Josh Wilson on for the extra point. Boots it high and through. And Southeast Polk up 7-0 here on CISN.TV.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Here at Southeast Polk, the Rams have just scored. I think Abu Sama was the biggest decoy we've seen. We're getting close to duck season, and he was a decoy there, Blake, in the backfield.
I thought it was going to. I mean, it was perfect.
I did too.
It was play action,
Yeah.
and I think that was the biggest thing that the DB bid on so far.
Faked it to Sama and then threw it deep, 38 yards to Carson Robbins for the touchdown on 4th down and 3 at the 38. And now Wilson to kick it off to Ames here with Southeast Polk now leading. Big boomer going to be taken at the 2, up to the 10, 15, and knocked down. Big hit there by Gabe Stiles.
Game we're keeping an eye on. The winner of this game takes on the winner of Cedar Rapids Prairie and Linmar. Cedar Rapids Prairie leads Linmar 9-0. Those two played last week, and Linmar beat Cedar Rapids Prairie. Dowling up 7-0. Waukee Northwest and Cedar Rapids Kennedy tied 0-0. Cedar Falls on top of Centennial 7-0.
Cameron Canton-Wine on the return, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 18 for Ames. With 11:48 to play here in the first half, they find themselves trailing. Sauser brings them out. High snap there, hands off to Poe. Now a little more pep in the step of the defense there for Southeast Polk.
I'm interested to see how Ames goes about this drive, because I feel like you almost can't do what you were doing. Granted, that has maybe cost Ames in their losses this year, but you know, I definitely feel like there's got to be a little bit more urgency if you're Ames, because now you're down 7-0, and your defense, you know, can't rely on your defense too heavily.
Now maybe a little play action and throw it. And they got 2 receivers left, 2 right. Gives the tackle the play call. Throws it out in the flat. Hits a man and falls out. And who has it? Southeast Polk has it. Ball is out. Pass is complete to Fielder.
He got tackled high, and that thing just popped right out. They always say tackle low, but in that case, he grabbed his shoulder pad, spun around, and that ball popped right out.
Let's see it here. He'll go to out in the flat there, gets it, and then as you see, he kind of grabbed him around the chest, and he couldn't get those hands to wrap it up. And so the turnovers are even up now. Ames had an interception. Now Southeast Polk gets the fumble.
That is a backbreaker. In good territory for Southeast Polk.
Yeah. 1st and 10 at the 26. Sam in the backfield. They hand it to him. He cuts out, looks, spins around, gets through 1 tackle, still pushing ahead, pulling a guy, dragging a guy down inside the 15 for the 1st down.
I mean, come on. It's 5'8". I mean, unbelievable power by Abu Sama. Not only is he good in open field, but look at this change of direction.
Cuts it back inside.
Runs over a guy.
And then he's got a hold of him, and he's trying to pull him down.
Unbelievable.
Brett Berkheimer, the defensive end, could not get him to the ground as he kept moving those feet ahead.
And it's crazy because he played under Titus Christensen for almost all of his high school career, and then he gets a senior. Titus graduates, and now Abu Sama gets in the spotlight.
Hand off to him again. He shuffles right, breaks it outside, he's going to turn. Touchdown, Southeast Polk.
Boy, the blocking downfield was everything, and then again, he was in a light jog. He was in a morning jog off the right side of the
tackle. And just watch him. He just sidesteps. Watch this. Slide, slide, slide. There's a hole. Cut it outside. Nobody's there. Touchdown.
Unbelievable job. Unbelievable job.
Wilson out for the PAT. High snap. And it's good. 14-0 Southeast Polk here. We'll be back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Well, Ames kind of won the first quarter, but Southeast Polk has scored twice now in the early going of the second quarter. They're up 14-0 here over Ames. It was a pass on fourth down and then an Abu Sama run here as he took it in from 14 yards out after the turnover. And we've seen this, Blake, how quickly Southeast Polk can turn a ball game.
They're lightning. I mean, it is lightning in a thunderstorm. They are so quick, and they love to take advantage. If you're even the slightest off, they will jump on it and they'll go after it. And, I mean, besides Dowling and Ankeny, we just haven't seen the team been able to keep up with it.
And credit them, sitting back when Ames was taking their time, They didn't jump off sides. They just waited and waited and waited, and then
they said you can play your game.
Yeah, play your
wait.
game. That's fine. We'll wait. And then when they got the ball, boom.
And you can't turn the ball over in a game like
deep,
this.
he takes it about the goal line, comes up, and it gets dropped short of the 20-yard line where Ames will take over.
Well, now down 2 possessions. You passed and then you turned it over. It wasn't a pick, but it was a fumble. I feel like you just can't abandon it, though. I feel like you got to keep going back to it. Jalen Luth has not been targeted, I don't think, tonight. So Sama's doing a great job defensively as well, locking him up. Interested to see how Ames approaches this drive.
Sauser brings him out. 2 receivers to each side here. Let's see if they try to go downfield a little bit. Drops back, wings it out. Oh! Looked like that was on target for Deshaun Long, but
waited a little bit, then went a little bit farther. Almost got picked.
He kind of stopped running out there, but
I don't know if he knew this was coming to him.
Yeah,
it's a great, I think, overall good ball placement by Dallas. Yeah, it's just a little too far out in front of him.
Second down and 10 for Ames. Same formation here with the doubles to each side. Poe's in the backfield.
Middle of the field's pretty wide open if they want to try.
They hand it off to Poe. He goes up the middle, but where they were picking up 4 or 5 yards a pop in the first quarter, that's shut down now.
It makes sense, though. I mean, fatigue is big, and Ames definitely doesn't have the size that Southeast Polk does, nor the depth, but
Southeast Polk is, with the momentum of the score now.
Yes. This Ames offense has been on the field a bit. Time possession, I know they have breaks in between because their no huddle takes a bit, but, I mean, it's still tiring.
It's a big third down here. You like to see them get a first down at least to kind of get him a little more room, if nothing else. He shifts Poe up. Now he shifts back. Drops back, looking. Throws it out in the flat. Has a man. Caught up to the 40. Spins around and goes down. Is that Braden Bielner,
Yeah,
I think?
He's making up for the fumble. He got a nice little route over the middle. Sauser puts it in the right spot. I like this play, though.
Drops back, surveys. He had a lot of time to throw that,
Good job. Good job by Ames, front 5.
And Bielner showing a little bit of his speed out there, too. So now you got a little more breathing room up to the 42-yard line for Ames.
And maybe passing it just a little bit more. Then you go back to the run once you've kind of opened up your playbook a little bit.
Just keep him honest every now and then. They shift Cameron Cantonwine over. They move Deshaun Long up so they have a legal formation. High snap, he handles it, hands off to Poe. He gets a good burst up the middle there. Good pickup on first. But again, that snap is a little worrisome.
Dallas has pretty good hops. I think he's going to be fine, but
but he had
the
the
snaps
one,
are big.
Had the earlier one that went over his head.
And in the backfield, Poe can't be too aggressive because he can't be taken off too early. He has to wait for that snap.
He had Kuru on the tackle. Now they shift personnel a little bit, send trips to the left. for Sauser. He says something to Poe. Looks, wings it out quickly. And not a lot of room over there for Deshaun Long, is it?
Yes. I tell you what, Deshaun Long is going to be beat up in the morning because when those out routes happen,
when he gets
everybody's flying at you, and you're at the sideline, so you have to be able to take some hits, which was big for the fumble over here. I mean, if you're going to catch it short, you better be ready to be hit.
Well, and that one he kind of wrapped him around the chest and didn't let him close those arms. That was kind of a weird.
Because you're catching it stopped. You're not catching it moving, so you're already at a disadvantage.
So big third down here. 3rd and 4th, 48 for Ames. Trips left. Sauser checks sideline again.
This time and they say, you know what?
Play clock got down there too far, and they decided to call timeout. Their first timeout here. We'll take a break. Be back after this on CISN.TV.
Off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Southeast Polk in the huddle there during the timeout. Ames came up. They got a 3rd and 4 at the 48. They're down 14-0 here, trying to keep this drive alive. They've shown ability to move the ball.
Yeah, they have.
Had the one turnover and the interception, and then the high snap that was an issue. And so now.
Timeout. We have 3rd and 4.
Another quick update for you. Johnston on top of Iowa City High, 17-7.
Here's a snap rolling, throwing, has Poe out of the backfield. They'll get the first down to the 45.
I think we might
There's
get a
a
late
flag. It could be, something out of bounds over there.
It had to have happened. You just think when you're near the sideline, somebody's going to come flying in to make a late hit. This might be 15 extra.
Well, they're really tight over there on there. Let's see what.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit.
Yep.
Out of bounds. Number 4 on the defense. 15 yards. First down.
Proctor was up the middle again. He's a 3rd down lineman pretty much for Southeast Polk. So Sauser has to get this out quick. Let's see if we can see the late hit. Just Poe sneaks right out of the backfield. Yeah, there's your hit.
Yeah.
Number 4, Cole Rogers.
He came in, because he was pulling him down, and Rogers came in and kind of gave him a tap as he was going out. So,
boy, you gotta put this thing in the end zone if you're Ames.
Here's the
second best time you've been down here.
Little Cyclones, 2 to each side now. They go back to those doubles on each side. And wings it out to the left side and caught. And a big pickup there, about 6. That was Luth, wasn't it? Yep. Is that his first catch?
First catch of the night. I mean, he's fast. You don't really see him on a lot of the quick in-outs. Mostly just toss up and he'll go get it. That's what he's mostly known for this season, but.
Same formation. Everybody looks left to the coaches. Poe will move up.
Well, and it's all Sauser on the sideline. He's seeing what he sees on the defense, and then that's when you make adjustments.
Moves him up to the right side. Wings it back out there again. Caught. Spins up through. And he's going to have first down yardage there.
It's Luth again.
Luth again. Yep.
I tell you what, in very explosive speed off the line of scrimmage. He caught that screen play. Really didn't have great blocking.
Around and took off.
Went right upfield. He is tough to guard, especially down in the red zone. You got to think it's going to go to number 5 every single time.
Well, here Ames just chipping away again, taking their time, but.
And they don't care they're down 14-0 because in their mind, as long as they get another point, you just need one stop on defense. Get it right back in your hands.
It's a little change of personnel here again. They send Bielner wide right, and they got Canton Wine back in there. He's on a slot on the right. And now Sauser wants a timeout. Dallas Sauser, the QB, as clock was running down and they didn't have everything. They switched personnel and didn't have everybody quite where they wanted it to be. Let's take a break here on CISN.TV.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Back here once again, you're inside the Southeast Polk huddle. They're trying to figure out how to slow down Ames as Ames is Monica drive here. It's Ankeny over Sioux City East 7-0.
Only in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And they're ahead of us. How'd that happen?
As Southeast Polk scored quickly here.
Yeah, 3 seconds
Started
into
the second quarter,
yeah.
3 seconds in, and then but they got another one about a minute later.
Fumble recovery.
Off the fumble recovery, and then a quick score. Dallas Salzer takes a high snap, hands it off. Poe, he hops and skips and into the middle there and gets a few yards.
Got to get these snaps a little bit lower. I don't think it's hurting them quite yet, but you risk the ball going way back over the head and losing 15 to 20 yards.
And two, if you're doing a handoff, sometimes you can throw that timing off a bit. It hasn't been an issue yet there, but now they bring in Tristan Angus, and they'll send him wide to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Poe is in the back of the backfield here for Sauser. Play clock at 5. 3, 2, snap with 1 to go. He looks, nobody open. Now throws it. And incomplete.
See, that's the problem with those quick routes. That time, Southeast Polk said, all right, we'll get up close. We'll cover him. And then they didn't know what to do. Now, Sauser can run. He is good at getting out of the pocket. They don't like to see him run because he's so small. Don't want to hurt him. But
I liked how he waited, and then when he flashed the white, he fired it. You know, it was going to be either you're going to catch it or it's going to bounce out of there. Now they switch personnel again. They bring Angus out and flip things around.
And that
play clock at 4. Now they're going to take another timeout.
I think Ames is trying to get too tricky for their own good now. I think because now you've used all your timeouts. But
their last timeout here. We'll take another break here on CISN.TV.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Well, Ames has taken their third time out here. Dar Danielson, Blake Walker, and the crew at Southeast Polk. The Rams are up 14-0. Both those scores coming in the second quarter. 3 seconds in on a 4th down pass, and then a Samba run after a fumble and a couple plays, and they ran it in. Now Ames is trying to answer here, but they had trouble, Blake, when they switch personnel. Then they don't get in the right formation, and that play clock is running down on them.
When you're switching personnel and you're doing all your hand signals from the sideline, it gets very confusing.
Here's Sauser.
Proctor's right there on 3rd down. This has not been good.
Moves Poe over, dropping back, looking, throws, across the middle, has a man, caught, stops, and is that Luth?
I believe that's going to be Beeler.
I thought it was 5, but it's 3. And he's going to be short.
I could have swore like those type of tackles, they don't allow those type of tackles. This was a WWE tackle. It's a simple crossing route over the middle, like a little mesh. Just not enough speed to get upfield.
He tried to fake. Well, yeah, it's a little. I mean, if you're an NFL quarterback, that's an automatic
or if you're lifting the
flag.
guy.
if you're tackling Tom Brady and that happens. So now they're going to try the field goal here. Amir's up and good. It'd be a 32-yarder.
And you'll take the points. You will take it. Good
14-3. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff. Or do you want us to keep it here, Randy? We'll take a break here on CISN.TV.
When did strength become an ego thing? Strength is about more than you. It's about grit, work ethic, carrying your own weight, and still rising to new challenges, whether or not they happen during regular business hours. Because even for the strongest, there are no guarantees. But for those who wake up with the streetlights to make sure the world keeps moving, Western makes one promise: more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Back live here at Southeast Polk. Ames gets the field goal to make it 14-3, 4:29 to play. They're set to kick off. Busama back deep to receive for Ames. If they kick it to him, they may kick away.
I don't know if
you're
want
smart, you may kick this away from him. Oh, they're going to kick it short, yeah. And a fair catch called for. And they'll take it at the 28.
Well, if you're Ames, a win here is getting the ball back and at least getting this within either 14-6 or 14-10 at halftime. But got to get going here on defense. You have one defensive stop, and it was an interception, an own mistake by Southeast Polk. Other than that, the Rams' offense has looked incredible so far.
They haven't been on the field long because they haven't had to. They've been moving it right up. Connor Mobley brings him out. He's got Gibson in the backfield with him. Fakes it to him, wings it out into the flat. Looking for room is Owen Wignall.
I like that play upfield. A good block up front by the wide receiver gives room, kind of forced Ames to get inside more than they wanted to. That's a really nice play set up coming across the field. We've seen Ames quick passes usually be on the short side of the field. Southeast Polk not afraid to go across.
Pick up 8. And they have defense is going to jump offside, looks like.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense.
It's Andrew Converse who gets caught on the right side. But the way Southeast Polk's been moving, I sure would have probably done the same thing. I mean, they run a legit hurry up where they're quick and they want to move the ball. Just got caught lacking a little bit there.
I think, is that the first penalty on Ames? I think.
Besides the legal formation.
No, that was on Southeast Polk.
Oh, Southeast
Polk.
On
the touchdown.
Yes.
Here's a handoff right up Harrison Gibson. Yeah, I don't think Ames has had a penalty yet.
I know everybody looks at Sama and he's the running game for Southeast Polk, but give a ton of credit to Harrison Gibson. He's played every game this season, over 900 yards on the year. He's a really good running back.
And what he does, he gives Sama some time to get out of the game because Sama's playing both ways sometimes, and he just gives him a chance to take a breather offensively, and you don't lose a lot, like you say. Here's Moberly. Hands it off. Right up the gut. Busts through the line. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. 49 yards.
I mean, they have one of the best offensive lines in the state of Iowa, and it's showcased right there. That's too easy for Gibson. Goes right up the middle. How about the block by number 64 up front, and then boom.
He got into the second level, and he was gone.
That was Gavin Douglas, the junior offensive lineman, got up to that second level and knocked the linebacker back. And
I love it when right on cue I'm talking about how good a backup back he is, and then he takes it to the house, you know. Here's a kick by Wilson. Up and good. 21-3. Southeast Polk. Here, we'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
You see the fans here, they're happy. They've got all kinds of costumes pre-Halloween. Santa Claus is out there somewhere.
I did see Santa Claus.
Winnie the Pooh.
Traffic cone.
Yeah. Saw a little bit of everything. One thing I didn't see is the banana. That's always a popular one among the.
I hope we see some more on Monday at the state tournament. It is going to be Halloween, so those student sections are going to be great.
Yeah.
Score update for you. Johnston is looking good, Dar. 24-7 over Iowa City High. That Dragons defense is legit.
They've gotten tougher as the season goes.
Winner of that game gets Pleasant Valley and Valley, I believe. Pleasant Valley leads Valley 10-3. Dowling on top of Davenport West 14-0. Ankeny on top of Sioux City East 7-0. No score updates yet from Waukee Northwest and Cedar Rapids Kennedy. And Centennial on top of Cedar Falls 10-7.
3:01 to go first half. Wilson will kick it off and drops it at the 5. Picked up there. Cantawine, who's looking to get outside, and he's not going to get there.
Boy, how about Caleb Chabuhar? Got a heck of a play coming from the backside to rip him down from his shoulders. And it is a big drive here for Ames. You don't get the ball back when you come out of the locker room. Really could use a touchdown here.
Yeah, they got points last drive, but then they turned around and they gave up 7, a quick 7, really, there. So Dallas Salzer brings him out. Jamison Poe in the backfield with him. Sends Poe in motion. And looking for him, now wings it short to the short man. Long pulled away, like I don't know if he thought.
I think he maybe thought it got tipped. Salzer had to get it around one of the linemen.
Or I don't know if he thought Poe was out wide and it was going to go to him because he kind of turned away.
They were talking about it right there, just trying to get miscommunication.
I think he thought Poe went around to him and was out there wider because he kind of let it go and didn't try to knock it down. But so brings up a 2nd and 10 at the 18. For Ames. Twin receivers each side. Hand off Poe. Poe skips over to the left, finds a little room before that hole is just shut down. He gets up to the 20. Pick up a 2. 3rd and 8.
Not the spot you want to be in on 3rd and 8 against Southeast Polk. Because now you're looking at pretty much a guaranteed passing situation. So Southeast Polk can choose to blitz if they want to get Salzer in pressure, because we really haven't seen Dallas have to get out of the pocket too much. But if I'm Southeast Polk, I'm also relying on my DBs heavily here.
2 receivers each side, stacked a little tighter to the formation now. Salzer takes the snap, drops back, looks, breaks through, looks up, now throws back across the body, has a man for the catch. Up there is Tristan Angus.
And that is another reason why he is so good as a quarterback. He rolls out, but his eyes are downfield the entire time. He never wanted to run.
And he gets you thinking maybe he's going to take off, but then stops, throws it back. Yep.
I mean, that's hard to cover for a team like Southeast Polk. They set the pressure. Good job by the offensive lineman to at least hold for a bit.
Now here's the problem where you're under 2 minutes and you burned all your timeouts already. And that one's across, hits the man out wide, and a big hit at the end there. Is that Luth?
That really wasn't even a hit. Luth just kind of fell into the lap of Carson Robbins, who had just kind of kneed down. Luckily, Robbins pulled back from the hit, didn't want to knee him. That was an awkward fall for Luth. Gets right back up.
He's right back up and out on the far side. So Ames, minute 18 to play here, first half, trying to drive and get on the board again. Try to keep it close by halftime. 21-3 Southeast Polk. Straight back looking, avoids the pressure. pulls it down and then slides.
He's smart. I mean, he's not very big, and he is smart. I can tell you right now, calling games from his freshman and sophomore year, sophomore Dallas would not have slid. He would have said, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go. And then his dad would get mad at him on the sideline. But Dallas, smart, decides to slide, live another day.
Here the clock is rolling, coming up on 40 seconds to play. 2nd down and 7. Pressure, wings it out short, and that'll stop the clock, which is good for Ames if nothing else. They'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Put Proctor back in on the D-line.
Just inside of Southeast Polk territory. Bring Bueller, one of them wide to the right. Twins to each side.
Watch the offensive line here. The center and the right guard are going to double team Proctor.
And there's a pass back to the back. Cuts it up. Poe has room. Sidestep the tackle and got a big pickup. That'll stop the clock with 27 seconds to go.
I really don't know what the flag could be here.
Well,
Salzer's got his hands out like blocking the back.
Ooh.
I'm not really sure
I didn't see it on the play, but that was a nice little.
It was a good play call.
Kind of like a back screen almost.
Offense, number 75.
Randy, you got a replay on that by any chance?
Repeat, 3rd down.
So number 75, I believe we're looking at the right tackle.
Yeah, he pulled out of there.
Nope.
Gets out.
Oh, right there, middle of your screen. Yeah. That is a block in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going downfield and the guy's in front of you, you can do the slide step thing to try to get in front, but.
It's 3rd and 3. Clock is a factor now, too, for Ames.
Isn't that weird? You get a big penalty and it's only 3rd and 3.
Yeah. Ball to 45. Looks, throws, wings it out there, has a man for the 1st down yardage, and he gets out of bounds. Pounded out by Sama.
He's open again. Wide open, a little quick in and out cut.
Luth with the catch, and Sama knocks him out. 21 seconds to play.
Yeah, how does Ames want to play this? Do you want to go deep? You want to kind of keep hitting the sideline here and get closer?
I think you got to try a shot one time here.
This time they're going to move Luth over to the far right side. This lines up about what we saw in practice before the game.
Luth and Bielner come out wide to the right here. Now they shifting around, still 2 seconds. They get it off with 1 second to go. Across the middle of the long. And did he get the 1st down? Not quite, or maybe he did. They're stopping the clock. That's key because that would stop the clock.
That's a good call. I mean, it's
1st down.
Yeah, so you make that call hoping he gets the 1st because if he doesn't, the clock doesn't stop.
You got 13 seconds now for Ames. They'll wind the clock. Here we go. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5. Go to the end zone. Knocked down. Good attempt at it, though.
Good throw. It was right where it needed to be. Long, couldn't quite get to it.
Well
Good
placed.
Job
And yeah, I mean, you might as well throw. Here we go. At the end of the half, you might as well throw it up there as long as you don't get it picked and the guy runs it back.
I think this is Robbins who just comes in and makes a. Comes in at the very end to knock it away.
High points that knocks it away. So
nice job.
An interesting first half, we'll say. 21-3. Southeast Polk over Ames here. We'll take a break, come back with halftime after this on CISN.TV.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
For 75 years, Holt Service Trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car, so to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Southeast Polk dance team on the field at halftime. 21-3 here. Dar Danielson, Blake Walker. We'll quick run down the scoring for you. It was nothing happened in the first quarter, although Ames took the ball and was very meticulous, running the play clock down, driving down, and then they had that high snap, and then they went for it on 4th down, and Southeast Polk got it then into the second quarter, and then took them just 7 seconds on a 3rd down and 4th down and 3 at 38. They pass it to Robbins. He runs it into the end zone, and it's 7-0. Then a little bit later, it was they forced a turnover on the next possession for Ames, forced the fumble. It was Sama, a 14-yard run with 10:17 to go in the second quarter. It was 14-0. Ames got another drive going. Took a lot of time off the clock, went down, got a 32-yard field goal to make it 14-3. And then Southeast Polk got it right back. A couple plays, a handoff to Gibson. He was busted right up the gut, blew by everybody, and it was 49 yards to the end zone, 21-3. So the start of the game went how Ames wanted. Slow the tempo, keep it under control. But the turnover and then just, man, you blink and Southeast Polk is right back at you and heading toward the end zone.
And we knew that would happen. I mean, just statistically, Southeast Polk much better than Ames. The Cyclones, that first drive was how they wanted it to go, but then just not getting it on 4th down, that was the big one. They got the pick, which was huge, but just had to keep the pressure on them. And Southeast Polk just feels like with ease they're moving downfield every single time.
And then they burned all their timeouts, so late in the game here they're driving down, but then they ran out of time because they had to use all those timeouts. They used a couple of them there when they're sending in players and they couldn't get things set in time, and that was kind of not a real great clock management there.
You live by the no huddle, you die by the no huddle, and that's pretty much what happened. They wanted to stick with it, and then when they didn't do it right, unfortunately have to take a timeout. So just something I think that they'll try to improve on the second half. Southeast Polk gets the ball here. Ames' defense just got to be a little bit better. I think their offense is slowly starting to figure it out, but the defense has to get a little bit better. And halftime score, Kennedy and Northwest tied 0-0. Johnson up 24-7 against Iowa City High. Those two could meet in the second round.
And Dowling was leading, right?
14-0 was last time I saw. I bet it's a little bit bigger. Ankeny was up 7-0.
And then what was the Valley? Were they down?
28-0 Dowling over Davenport West. What did you say? Valley. It is Pleasant Valley 10, Valley 6 at halftime.
Okay.
Cedar Rapids Prairie leads Linn-Mar 30-6. They come to Southeast Polk next week if Southeast Polk can finish it off tonight. And other scores, I don't think we've seen very much else. But it's a busy state playoff. In other classes, there's a couple upsets going on right now, so it's tough. You got to win. You can't take a week off here in the playoffs. Got to be on your best.
It's a good time of year. It's like the weather's starting. Well, it was warm when we got here. It's cooled off, but not quite so much. But it's just fun. You get the playoffs, and they've stretched it out more. It used to be you played Friday and then Wednesday, and then it was like, wow, you didn't have much time to catch your breath at all. But now they've spread it out a little more, so there's a little more normal type schedule for the playoffs here. And
I like the Tuesday night and Wednesday night games, though, growing up. I thought those were kind of fun.
It was kind of different, it was a little bit different because you'd have those games right close. Because that's the thing about football. Usually you play and you have a whole week, whether you win or lose, to kind of get over it or not. Then in the playoffs, of course, if you win, you want to go right back at it. But, of course, safety reasons, everything, it's better for that to do it that way. So that's the way we stand right now. 21-3, Southeast Polk over Ames. Ames has shown some flashes of that offense. Defensively, it's just, a couple big plays they've given up to Southeast Polk. Well, three of them, actually, on the scores. The one, Sama, he just shuffled through the hole, and then they hit the outside. Gibson just popped right through, and then Robbins was wide open on that pass. He got behind the defense, so, some things maybe defensively you do. They came out and tried to shorten up the game a little bit early, and that worked for a while. But then you kind of knew they had to be perfect, and they get the turnover, and that led to a score right away. So, I know you just got a few things to talk about. Maybe you can make some adjustments here, but you don't have much margin for error against Southeast Polk.
Yes.
We're at halftime. We'll take another break. Come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V-Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore. 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homemaker.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore. 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homemakers.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
for the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Here at Southeast Polk, teams out warming up, getting ready to start the second half. Dar Danielson here with you alongside Blake Walker, Randy on the controls, Peter and Rachel on the cameras here tonight on a, what do we get down to temperature-wise here?
I'm going to guess like 50s.
54,
yeah,
not bad, but it was up in the like 70s or something when I left work. And anyway, it's just good kind of cool weather to play football in. When I play, I always kind of like that because you just cool enough where you could sweat a little bit, but you didn't get too sweaty where you're drenching.
Yes.
And yeah, you know, but it just felt like football. And then not too cold where you can't feel your hands and you got to wear gloves and all that stuff. But so let's talk about Ames. You know, what do they got to do to keep the season alive here?
I think you have to keep passing. I think you got to abandon the run game. And I know they haven't wanted to become that team that just keeps passing the ball, but you got a quarterback to do it, and you got a wide receiver core that can have enough speed to get upfield, and we saw that on their last drive. If they had more time, I feel like they could have scored. They were starting to figure something out. I think you just got to keep the ball in the air, and if you're on defense, I don't want to say you commit to the run, but, man, you just got to be eyes open if you're a linebacker because Sama has the ability to just move, and you can get hurt over the top with Connor Mobley.
And the trouble is if you try to pick up the tempo if you're Ames and try to score quickly, it could be one of those things where you score quickly, but then boom, right back. You know, Southeast Polk. Yeah, that's the problem here. Is like you said, defensively, then stopping them here as all the scoring came in the second quarter. 7 seconds to go. 7 seconds in, it was a pass to Robbins on a fourth down play. He went 38 yards. Then on the next drive for Ames, they had a pass out, and it was fumbled on the tackle. They got it, and Sama ran it in from 14 yards out. Ames then got a field goal from 32 yards out, 4:29 to play, and then with 3:01 to go, they had the ball at the 49, handoff to Harrison Gibson. He plowed through everybody and then took it to the end zone. So that's where you stand, 21-3. Ames is being real deliberate early on and running that play clock down, but the big thing that did hurt them is they burned all their timeouts late in that second quarter, trying to get people in and get them in the right spot.
Well, and I know they hate to kick it back off to Southeast Polk trailing 21-3, but, you know, they came out and said we wanted to score early, and they looked good on that opening drive if it wasn't for getting stopped on fourth down in Southeast Polk territory.
Omar Amir set to kick it off. Sama is one of them back deep, but it's unlikely they'll kick it to him, which they don't. They kick it high and taken up at the 23-yard line. I guess he did get it, didn't he?
Well, it was Robbins.
Or was it Robbins?
Carson still came up and got it. Not what you wanted, but, yeah, it still came up and got it.
Carson Robbins on the return.
So Southeast Polk will start out 1st and 10 at the 34.
Besides that interception off of Robbins' hands, really been flawless offensively for Southeast Polk. Good stuff to look back on. They've been really good in the running game. And just the patience. And you and I have talked about it all night long. Sama and Gibson just sitting and waiting in the backfield.
And here we go. Moberly fakes to Sama, rolls right, looking, wings it out there, caught at the first down marker, out of bounds is Joe Zelinovich.
complete to Joe Zelenovic.
Looks like he's going to be just short, I think.
Gain of 9. Second down.
Yeah, he caught it and he had to kind of throw on the brakes to stop from going out of bounds, but second short, not a big deal here.
Good job by Ames, at least not biting on the fake, play action fake. At least giving their DBs a little bit of time.
Sama in the backfield. There he has the ball over the left side. Dodges, takes it out to the right side. Could go all the way. 10-5, touchdown.
I mean, it reminds me of Reggie Bush when he was at USC. He just ducks and dives. I mean, he's impossible to tackle. I mean, I have never seen a running back like this in Iowa high school. Watch this. He's low, boom, and then cuts, and just unbelievable.
Just a little
change.
Shoulder dip, and he never slows when he does it.
Unbelievable change of direction. I mean, it reminds me of Reggie Bush. Size and everything. He is unbelievable.
57 yards by Sama. That is his 18th touchdown on the season. 2 of those tonight. Here's the kick by Wilson. It's up and good.
11 minutes and 35
And,
seconds into the third quarter.
well, didn't take them long to score in the third quarter either.
Southeast Polk.
And now they're up 28-3.
It's an Ames defense that just hasn't played someone like this all year. Well, they have, and they just have struggled a little bit with these teams this season. So,
yeah.
But I mean, just unbelievable back play by Southeast Polk tonight.
Well, it's got to be frustrating because you have him right there in your sights, and then just, as we said, a little dip, and he moves and cuts or shuffles, and you know, and then they had Harrison Gibson in there, and boom, he cuts it right through the middle. So,
well, and even scout team. How does scout team replicate things like that?
Yeah,
You know, so it's like they are tough to prep for.
So they will kick off now with 11:35 to go. 28-3.
Yeah, it's a day and night transition when how much time comes off the clock compared when Ames is on offense to when Southeast Polk's on offense.
And Wilson set to kick it off here. Well, for Ames, and Wilson, give him credit, he's been dropping it right about the goal line, but if they could get a good return maybe, you know, and get something going on that.
It's all up to the guys up front here for Ames.
Here again, this one's going to be taken at the 5, 15, 20. Trying to get outside, gets a little room, so gets up to about the 30. Not bad starting field position for Ames on the drive.
That's the best return of the night so far.
Tackle by Ethan Berkey.
Ethan Berkey on the tackle.
You know, I wonder here, we're seeing a couple more backups warming up for Southeast Polk. Still a while to go, but sophomore quarterback Holden Hansen's warming up at the quarterback position. I wonder if Southeast Polk's already thinking next week, they're like, hey, we got our lead.
Give them a little.
I was going to say, give them a little rest. Don't have to work anybody over top if you don't have to. Holden Hansen's still very solid for a sophomore quarterback.
Sauser outside and quickly there. Sama ball knocked free.
Oh, got his own ball
And he
back.
got it back. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if Luth was the one that fumbled it, but Luth was the one that came up with it.
Let's see.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, Sama gets him here. And then he's there. It pops out.
Which I'm surprised they blew the play dead.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they'd let it go, and if that's the case.
There's a handoff. Poe dives into the middle, keeps going. Get a couple.
Noticed with Jamison Poe, he's very quick to jump to the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's almost like a hop, then I'll decide where I want to go. Unlike what we've seen for Southeast Polk, where he kind of waits a little bit.
Yeah, he gets to the hole quickly,
He does.
and then, but it's not so quick that he doesn't. You know, when the hole opens up, he can get cut through there.
Exactly.
Third down.
Sauser, 3rd down and 2 at the 36. Rolling left, throws it out there, has a man on the far side. Is Beelder.
Nope, Poe.
Oh, was that Poe?
Yep.
Oh.
And that play's worked.
2, not 3. Okay,
It's worked
yeah.
before. They put him kind of at the left tackle position almost at a tight end. Ames really doesn't have any tight ends that they run with. But, yeah, they kind of sneak him out of the backfield. And as long as the linebacker's not got his eyes on him, he's free downfield.
Okay, so 1st and 10 at the 43 for Ames. Oh, that one just a little too much through the hands.
Yeah, that one just a little too far going forward. I got to give a shout out to Tavian Collins. I think every other play he's coming in at left end, right end, running back off, runs back on, runs back on. I think he's getting the big number 72 for Southeast Polk. I think he's getting the biggest amount of cardio that any Southeast Polk player has gotten. I give him credit. Because he's pretty much in Proctor's spot until 3rd down.
So clock stopped. 10:09, 2nd and 10 at the 43. Send back in motion. Oh, he skips across over there. Now across the middle. Oh, did he get? No. Almost. The tip drill. And almost an interception.
Well, that's one thing about Dallas. He is such a zip on the ball. And it's so hard. I mean, sometimes you gotta have those tough hands to catch them. And as it's getting a little bit colder, sometimes it is harder to catch when they're flying at you.
Carson Robbins dove down in there to try to pick it up, but couldn't get it off the turf. So brings up 3rd down and 10 at the 43 for Ames.
And now your playbook's pretty much compromised in a way.
Yeah. Look like they might bring some pressure. They do. Wings it out. And it'll be caught, but it's going to be well short of the 1st down there. Poe out of the backfield comes around.
How about that rarity? That's only the 2nd play that's ever come over to this sideline all game long. Only other time being a fumble. And
yeah, when they caught him on the fumble over here.
And when you're down 28-3, you got to go for it. You got to. Well, there's a flag now. I didn't even see it.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Hidden behind the offensive lineman. I thought there might have been something on the left tackle, and I think that's who it was on. As Southeast Polk got pressure, the right end was kind of held.
Yeah, you could tell Southeast Polk wound it up, and then they came and.
Let's take a look at the replay. I thought it was on 73, but.
So that makes 3rd and 23.
You go back to your screenplay again, you think? That worked out well if it wasn't
did.
the flag.
If you pick up a big chunk of it, because it's going to be 4 downs probably.
Give yourself an easier 4th.
Yeah. They send Poe in motion. Slide him over. Looking, pressure coming. Rolling right. Throws back left. Caught by. That's long.
All that for
but
half a yard.
He had to come back for it. I was just thinking, how is he going to go to his right, throw back across his body of the left-hander there, and he did. But now they're going to bring on the punt team.
You have to give credit to Dallas, though. Eyes
eyes
downfield. He did
downfield,
not look at all. He's like, I'm not going to throw this away. I got to give our team a shot on 3rd and long.
Yeah, he kept his head up, kept looking. Just nothing there. And
boy, this is going to be a good punt back here.
Robbins and Sama back deep.
Almost muffed it.
Ooh, and it's a sidewinder. They got a little bit of an Ames bounce.
Yeah, he dropped it, had to pick it back up, and by then I think he was a little flustered.
Yeah.
Not a bad kick.
No, but the rush didn't, because the rush wasn't on. But when you're back there, it's like, hey, yeah, it looked like it might go out on Ames side of the 50, but it ends up bouncing, going out on the Southeast Polk side. They'll still take over 1st and 10 at the 45.
Yeah, Southeast Polk. I don't know what you do here. I mean, you can play with a couple different things. You can go to the air, keep it on the ground.
They come back with Gibson.
Now, granted, don't they say don't show your whole hand in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Keep a couple things close to your chest.
Fakes it to Gibson. Throws across the top. Good defensive play by Long to knock it away as Zelinovich was there. And if he catches it, he's gone.
That was a heck of a play by Long. Stuck his right arm out and last second just knocked it away. You're right, he would have been gone for 6.
Watch the left side here. Fires over there and long. Yeah, just got in there and knocks it away, and that brings up 2nd down and 10 at the 45.
It's a good thing that was a quick pass, because anything longer, I think Robbins would have been way out in front.
And timeout Southeast Polk. Ames still a little stunting around up front, but whatever they saw, didn't like. We'll take a break here where they have a timeout. On CISN.TV.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore. 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homemaker.
Back to action. They wing it out. Caught. And
gonna get a good chunk
yeah,
back.
not a bad pickup there.
I like these quick passes here by Moberly. It really doesn't give a defense a chance to get there.
Got to Zelenovich. 3rd and 3.
A couple other score updates. Pleasant Valley on top of Valley 10-9. Cedar Falls on top of Centennial 14-10. Ankeny on top of Sioux City East 10-0.
Hand off to Sama. This time he's moving around. He's not going to get the first down. They're able to pull him down.
Yeah, that time he waited even longer, but yeah, good job by good job by Ames to at least get pressure up front.
Nothing materialized there.
Collapse up front. And staying home. I think that's the biggest part against him. Now this is interesting. So you got 4th down and 4. Last time he had this, everybody's thinking, oh, it's going to Sama. And then they went over the top.
They brought in Sama, and they thought they were going to hand it off to him, and then they threw it. So we'll see what they do here. 4th and 1. It's to Sama. Sama pushes, stiff arms, gets outside. Another stiff arm, up the sideline, stumbles down and pulled down at the 15. Just about broke that one.
His stiff arm is so good. I mean, and he doesn't even seem that big, and he's not, but check out this. Just boom, gets the right end or the left end moving.
Stiff arm 1, stiff arm 2, and Long.
Would have stayed up if he had more room.
Long almost got him, but he got down, and then Cam Strawhacker ended up making the tackle here.
It's a much-deserved break. But Ames can't take a break because now Harrison Gibson's in there.
Harrison Gibson's in there. We know what he can do. And he gets the ball, looking over the right side behind the line there, pushing forward, spins back through, and pushes down toward the 10.
How about the no-quit play by Caden Proctor? Just kept pushing, got upfield eventually. Going to carry his running back up out of the pile.
Yeah, then Gibson spins around. Yeah. He sees big 74. Yeah, let's keep going there, huh? Pickup of 6.
Oh, and we can't give all the credit to Proctor. This O-line is just big. I mean, they have their weight room must be incredible because just huge up front for Southeast Polk.
They check to the sideline here. Play clock at 10. Moberly drops back. Ames fakes some pressure. They give it off Gibson. Around the corner, cuts it up! Touchdown! From 12 yards out.
Well, that time it was Ames had the middle stuffed, and Gibson just does the same thing. He sits back and waits until he gets a great block off the edge by big number 78. And then good job by 56 upfield. Just nice, great downfield blocking.
And when he saw the lane, he really scooted up the lane quickly to get into the end zone.
Vision by these running backs has just been phenomenal by Southeast Polk all night long.
And the kick by Wilson is good. Makes it 35-3. Southeast Polk. We'll take a break, come back with a kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Well, another quick strike by Southeast Polk for 12 yards out. Gibson with the score to make it 35-3 here with 6:41 to play in the third quarter. And awaiting the kickoff. Referee blows his whistle, says, let's go, boys. Southeast Polk there will break the huddle.
It's amazing to me, Dar, because granted scoring stops the clock, but we were on a good pace in the first pace, and I'm seeing a lot of games across the state are already in the fourth quarter. So
yeah,
we got behind a little bit.
Yeah, it seemed like we were kind of moving. I mean, they were passing, but they were catching it, and there wasn't a lot of going out of bounds and stopping the clock. And it seemed like Ames chewed up most of that first quarter. And Braden Bielner back deep. It's Wilson set to go here.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Southeast Polk's done a great job just kicking this and planting them right at the 1. And look at that. He's catching that inside the 5.
Yeah, right at the 2. Comes up and gets dropped right about the 20. Cameron Kenton line on the return for Ames. We'll take over 1st and 10 at the 20.
Well, I think for Ames here, they haven't really ran the ball at all, and they're not going to. I just don't think they will. Just got to keep that passing up, keep the defense on their toes. You got talented wide receivers. And Jamison Poe out of the backfield in the wide receiver game has not been terrible tonight.
He goes in motion to the left and rolling left, throwing it out in the flat to Long. Long spins back. They flip the ball out of there, rip it out. And who has it?
I believe Valley's got it right back. Or excuse me, Ames. I keep seeing orange.
Yeah. You see the orange and white?
We call it Valley games all year.
Yeah.
I think that was Robbins maybe in there that just ripped it right out.
He rolls left, hits him there.
No, that's going to be Draven Woods.
Oh, yeah.
That is the most textbook ripping out of the ball I have ever seen. Just pull your hand in, rip it. Long just was trying too hard to fight upfield.
Send Poe in motion again to the right. Now right across to Luth. He just came right up the seam, and they get the first down.
Yes, he did. They are a fun connection. They've been fun to watch all season long. Salzer to Luth. Top duo in the state when it comes to a quarterback to his wide receiver. And sometimes you just have your go-to man to bail you out, and that's them right now.
You find that little open spot behind the line and ahead of the defensive backs and delay a game, or was it? Yep. Or no, encroachment. Oh, okay.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either. I looked up and the clock reset, so I thought it was delay a game, but they must have reset it after they saw the penalty. So,
Dar, you were talking about it. Johnston holding leads in the playoffs, 24-21. Iowa City High has come back. Good game over there. Northwest on top of Cedar Rapids Kennedy, 9-0. Cedar Falls on top of Centennial, 14-10.
What was the Valley score?
10-9.
Sauser throws out long, can't handle it. Gary Swenson, speaking of doing those games, he talked all year. They just haven't been able to pop the big plays, enough big plays, and they need it. They're in another close game here. It seems like they have some talent to do it, but well, for Ames now here they bring in that package. They got 20 seconds to go on the play clock here, so
and that Northwest. If Northwest wins and City High wins, that sets up an interesting game that Northwest would technically host because they're the higher seed.
Throw it out, good pass out. There's a flag down, though. That would be at the marker.
And it's either, I think we might have an unnecessary man down field or too many, I'm not sure. Could be hands to the face, could be face mask. He was kind of making a motion toward his face. Looks like blocking back. This is going to be on Southeast Polk.
He pointed to South.
Nope.
How do you block in the back when you're on defense? Unless you're returning a.
He can't. He's coming back here.
Okay.
Is that really the signal for illegal hands to the face?
I don't think it is. Well, it's more like
a hand. You put your palm toward the sky. Yeah. Interesting.
He called the block in the back.
Let's see where this is at. Number 72, so you're looking at the nose yard right here. There it is,
right there. There it is, yeah. He pushed right up in there.
Yeah.
Against Austin McIntyre. Or no.
That's Tavian Collins.
Tavian Collins.
The one who's running back and forth on the field all day. They're going to put Proctor in for him.
Drop back, looking, waits, throws. Luth catches it.
Boy, the ability for him to just, boom, grab it, pull back down. So impressive by him. He's got hands.
And Saucer has that relief, too.
Yeah, he does. It's a weird, it's not a sidearm.
Defender's on him, and he just kind of,
yeah.
They think they're getting to him, and boom, he fires it. We'll see it here again. It's
not a sidearm, but it's definitely like a quick little release.
See, there he is, and then, just flips it out there. 1st and 10 at the 32. Throws it out in the far left.
I think that's Luth again.
Pick up a few there.
Now you're going to your playmaker. Let him make a couple plays here.
But this has been the issue. Ames has been able to drive down the field.
This is like the third time?
Yeah, but then closing the deal has been the problem here tonight. Coming away with just one field goal.
I guess that has been a positive. I mean, you're inside their own 50. Yeah, it's just finishing. Depends on how you look at it.
Sauser. Drops, looks. And that one is knocked back to a lineman. He takes off. He has it stripped. Picked up by Southeast Polk. Robbins. He's got the outside. Can he get a block? He might go. One man to beat. Cuts it back inside. Trips. Touchdown. I'll have to look at the replay. I think it's about 80 yards.
Are you kidding me? Salzer's pass gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. It's picked up by a lineman.
Defensive.
No, it's picked up by an offensive lineman. Yeah, he fumbles, and then it falls right into the DB's lap.
Watch this again. Batted around.
He's like, all right, I'll take off with it.
Running there, then knocked away. We'll call it, picked it up at the 22.
Robbins just takes it the distance.
So we'll call it a 78-yard interception return.
I have never seen anything like that. Wow.
We'll take a break, come back with a kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Daniels and Blake Walker with you, and man, things are got a little crazy here as we had a tip ball caught by the offensive lineman. See, and then it's stripped, and Robbins picks it up at the 22, to the outside, and got a nice block from Trey Lust to get him into the end zone. He had to get that corner, and he did, and he takes it back 78 yards.
When you look back on that offensive lineman, in hindsight, that's why they say, maybe just go down. Because your ball carrying skills definitely aren't the best. And the last thing he's thinking is someo's going to come from behind. Heads up play by Southeast.
Yeah, no, he's looking end zone thinking, hey, I'm going to get the score in the playoffs. And then boom.
Just the fact it was returned all the way back.
Yeah.
Well, now you set up continuous clock with the over 35-point deficit. So.
Set to kick off again. Cantwine back along with Fielder, I believe. Again, taken about the 3. Cantwine cuts it up and is weirdly shoved out of bounds about the 21.
Well, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you just got to go back to Luth. I think that's where the passing's been. You know, when you're down like this, it's tough, and it is tough. But I think you just got to keep going to the passing game.
And we're just talking about how they've been driving and driving. That's about the 4th time they drive it down the field, but then something happens and it blows up before they can get it in. Credit Southeast Polk defense, of course, too.
And I don't know if Ames will go back and look at the film on a Sunday. I want to see out the playoffs, but it's definitely going to be something you'll circle and keep an eye on.
Send Poe in motion. Out to the left. Now cross over the top and then Long wasn't really looking back.
I think he was scared he was going to get hit because he had his arms out, saw somebody coming in his peripheral and said, okay, I'm going to hold my head back. I think he felt the footsteps coming from the other DB because he would have been clobbered.
Because, he had somebody coming in to help there. I think that was Robbins coming in to help from the middle there.
And I know they're losing, but I got to say, Dart, Dallas Sauser, his ball placement has been pretty good tonight. Would you say? I mean, even on the long throw at halftime, it's perfect. He's got it right where it needs to be.
Yeah, he's been putting it in there.
It's been impressive to watch.
2nd and 10. This one he wings out there. Luth catches it, but he won't get very far. R2. Going to bring up 3rd down and 9. Clock running continuously now.
Dowling up 35-0 against Davenport West.
Sauser rolling left, throwing. Did he get his feet in bounds? I think he did.
There's a flag down, and it might be PI, possibly. He was thrown on the far sideline. Is that about the 1st down marker?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if they get the 1st down, they decline it because you're well past that. Yeah, they'll decline it, won't they?
A couple defensive penalties here.
Yeah, they do decline it because he got well beyond the 1st down marker there. He rolls, throws it. Luth made the catch. And it's 1st and 10 at the 36 for Ames. Throws it over there again. And how did he pull that down?
Come on.
Man.
What a catch.
Well, 2 seniors with their last game together, and they're making the most of it here. Even though they're down, they're still battling. And wow, defender draped all over him.
I like the reach of the football. Very nice.
Sam Good was right there, I think it was. Now right up the middle.
It's a rarity, but when you're passing so much, you're like, well, we might as well
throw a draw
try
in
for
there,
it.
and And that may be the last play of the third quarter. Third quarter will be his clock ticking away here.
Tackle by Draven Wood.
Southeast Polk players slow to play.
That'll do it for the third quarter. Southeast Polk up 42-3. We'll be back with the final period after this on CISN.TV.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Well, they've just been so close to their good teams that can't get over the edge. Here we go back at Southeast Polk. Talking about some other scores as we're going through here.
Yeah, Cedar Falls on top of Centennial, 14-10. Centennial just fumbled going into the end zone.
Sauser going deep. Is he in? Nope, out of bounds. Great coverage on the far side by Trey Lust.
Jalen sure thought he was, but
yeah.
Again, how about this ball placement?
Yep.
I mean, it's perfect. Nice little out and up route. Yeah, just had his feet going out too much.
Couldn't get him down.
Other scores: Waukee Northwest on top of Cedar Rapids Kennedy 9-0. Cedar Rapids Prairie is up 44-6 against Linn-Mar, so Prairie will come here next week.
Ooh, almost picked off. He fired that one a little low.
And the latest flag I've ever seen.
Cole Rogers was there, and then the flag down.
I have no idea what this could be. I think it's on Ames, but
an eligible receiver looks like. Downfield.
Well, Dar, I was just talking about Cedar Rapids Prairie up on Linn-Mar. So a couple weeks ago, it'd be a rematch on October 7th. Southeast Polk and Prairie played 41-0 Southeast Polk. So got to feel pretty good for Southeast Polk. You would have rather have seen Prairie over that one. So Valley is on top of Pleasant Valley, 15-10.
Oh.
How about Coach Swenson? 5-4, barely sneak in. You're like, we'll just take down the undefeated team in Class 5A maybe. But you and I had that game against Roosevelt. It sure did look like.
Yeah. Rolling, throwing late.
Are you kidding me?
How does he throw that under?
That's a Patrick Mahomes sling
it.
Somehow got it there. In between two players.
Yeah, the thing I like about
another flag.
Another one here.
Well, so Southeast Polk is sending like a blitzer, and the only way I think Ames is holding back is they have to hold because they're not getting there quick enough.
The thing I like about Coach Swenson, though, is he'll tell it like it is. You ask him,
how are you this year?
More big plays, and we just haven't been playing well. Here we go see the replay.
Yeah, 66. Well, yeah, there's your hold back on the right side of your screen, number 74.
Yeah, when you pull a guy down.
Not a good case.
But clock running.
Third and forever. What is it? Third and. Scoreboard still set 4th and 3.
Sauser, empty backfield now.
Haven't seen that tonight.
And he gets a little pressure and he just wings that away. To get rid of it, threw it over Poe's head. Fourth down, they'll bring on the punting unit. And I don't want to jinx or anything. The only thing we haven't seen out of Southeast Polk is a special team score.
Yes.
Here.
We'll see. Yeah, don't say too much yet. Cedar Rapids Prairie, Mikkel Taylor has 313 yards rushing tonight. So that is who Southeast Polk has to face next week.
Here's the punt. Robbins calls for fair catch, takes it at the 47. And that's where Southeast Polk will take over. Clock still rolling here with the 42-3 deficit. And everybody watch our social media to see what we'll be doing for games in the next round, and then we will be, you and I are heading to Iowa City for a little change in venue for volleyball. That's going to be kind of interesting. And
good volleyball field this year.
That's always fun, but it's taxing by the time you're done. High snap rolling, new quarterback in there for Southeast Polk.
Yep, they're running with the sophomore quarterback Holden Hansen.
Yeah.
No touchdowns, no picks, 93 yards, 10 of 18 on the year. He looks like a quarterback. Yep. I think he's going to be pretty solid for 2 more years after this for Southeast Polk. But you got to think, it's next man up. We saw that with Moberly this year.
Yeah. And Samba went out.
Yep. After Christensen departed.
There's a handoff up the middle. 28.
Landon Vanderwerf, the sophomore. Yeah, so don't get it twisted. Southeast Polk still has a lot coming up through the grapevine.
Well, that's been part of it. I talked with the coach earlier when Sama was out, and they said, well, part of being a good team and contending is building that program so that you have guys ready to go. And he said sometimes they get pushed out there and you find out what they can do, and they do step up.
And based on what we've seen from Samba tonight, he is a big part of the team.
Oh, yeah.
Even that loss to Ankeny, you could tell. Slanovich wants time.
But they'll lose him, lose Proctor. Some big pieces there. But they lost some big pieces last year.
And they're still as good as they were.
Yeah, and that's the thing we see out of the Dowlings, the Valleys, that they fill those in. Ankeny's, filling them right back in. And the
final.
Go ahead.
Final from Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Waukee Northwest, quote, upsets the Cougars 9-0. That game finished in under 2 hours.
So I can hear the how going on.
Now it gets interesting because that means we will be getting either a Johnston Waukee Northwest second round, or we will be getting a Waukee Northwest Iowa City High second round, which I believe Johnston Waukee Northwest played earlier this year. They had
I think they may have. Yeah,
I feel like they had.
Yeah. So Holden Hansen back out there again.
They got all backups in right now.
Yeah. Hand off, Vanderwood. And he's going to be short.
You're going to give him about half a yard. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for this. It's literally 4th and about 2 inches.
Yeah. Clock's still rolling.
Roger Lopez brings up 4th down.
Now they're undecided. Now they talked about it. Now what are they doing?
First down, ran.
Oh,
they give him a first.
I guess they're going to give him forward progress.
Oh, okay. It looked like they had it marked short, but no, they'll go first down. So they'll keep the ball. Empty backfield for Hansen. He'll pull it down and run. Spins into the middle.
He's got a nice little, he can move a little bit. As a Southeast Polk fan, you're just kind of scouting out what you got coming down the line. They're tall.
Yeah.
Tall backfield.
Kind of nice to see a team in black and gold score 40 points, isn't it? 42 points.
Yeah, because we'll only see them score 14 tomorrow. Jace Baxter, the running back in there for Southeast Polk. Got a big tight end back in there. Don't really have that in the main offense. That's Brandon Lundgren.
Rolling, throwing.
It's going to be close to the marker, going to be about a half yard short. Nope, first down. They're going to give it to him.
Luke, who is that? Luke?
What number? I didn't see the
85.
85. Luke Mash.
Okay. I can't find my roster for Southeast Polk. Back up.
They're headed to the fourth. Johnston up 24-21 over Iowa City High.
See the replay there. Holden Hansen sends a man in motion. And then hands it off. Stopped after a short gain.
James Baxter on the carry for Southeast Polk.
Valley, or update from Pleasant Valley. Valley currently has PV on a 3rd and 7 with 2 minutes left. Still at 15-10. Boy, if Centennial beats Cedar Falls, that'd be like the 14 seed taking on like the 10 seed, I think, in the second round. And people say the Eastern Iowa just doesn't produce.
Yeah.
I mean, CIML's been pretty strong.
Up the middle, bust through, still going, and pulled down at the 7.
It's Baxter, Jace Baxter. I mean, he's a big guy. I mean, he gets up the middle, 169 carries or 169 yards this year, 5 touchdowns. This time, I mean, he's not as small as Sama, but still good vision, hard to tackle. Southeast Polk is trying to put up one more score here.
Well, and these guys get in and get some playing time. They do want to put one on the board. Hand off again, looking to cut to the outside. Spins through. Did he get there? Touchdown!
I was going to say. Landon Vanderwerf. Just a sophomore. Heck of a play, staying up on his feet.
7-yard score.
Nice block on the end. And then, yeah, just tackling high. Couldn't quite get to him.
.5 to go here. 7 yards out. PAT is good. And it's 49-3.
4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining.
And we'll take a break, come back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
49-3 here. Southeast Polk on the first step toward getting back to the Unidome and trying to defend that state title here tonight against Ames. And Little Cyclones been able to move the ball. Haven't been able to get a lot of points on the board, and then haven't been able to stop the high-powered Southeast Polk offense. But
Dowling Catholic defeats Davenport West 35-0. They will host Waukee Northwest next week.
So set for the Southeast Polk kickoff. Going to be taken at 13. Looking for room outside, turns the corner and gets pulled down before he can get all the way there. Ames. Braden Billner.
Tackled by Jesse Bain.
And
set up here, kind of get your last minutes in. Clock keeps ticking down. I think for this one, you know, for the seniors on the team, you got to just kind of embrace, you know, last couple minutes here.
Yeah.
Go down to get a touchdown here.
Enjoy the final moments. Dropping back, Sauser. Throws it deep across the middle for long. Oh, almost intercepted.
Flying over the middle, Emmanuel Gay just missed it. I don't know if he thought he was even going to get there. That's why he was kind of surprised. That one kind of floated in tough territory.
Yeah, he kind of came across to undercut the route. And Sauser talking to his receivers. 2:37 and counting here on the clock. Wings it out in the flat. A flag is down.
I don't. It might be on Luth, and it might be on Southeast Polk for the PI. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, there were a couple Southeast Polk players there right where they threw it down, and they're pointing that way. So I think it's interference maybe. Let's see.
Pass interference. Defense, number 38, 15 yards, previous spot,
So
first down.
pass interference. And Ames will also up in the line the ball just into Southeast Polk territory.
Cyclones has first 10. Southeast Polk 49.
Sent Poe in motion. Rolling under a little pressure. Throws late, hits the man. Running back across.
It reminds me of the Chiefs offense. To get upfield, you come back, then swing back around.
You come back and catch it and then spin around
Nicole
and go.
Hardman and Tyreek Hill.
I was happy to see Tyreek Hill go to my Dolphins and play for them this year. He's had a good season, although.
How about Cooper Butel? He's like right here on Southeast Polk sideline, way far away.
He's trying to hide in between the black jerseys.
Keeps running over to the middle. Watch, he does it again. He comes here on a release valve.
Now under pressure, Sauser rolls down, throws back across. Oh, and he almost found him. He came all the way across.
There's a reason he came across.
All the way across there, and they almost hit him. That'll bring up third down. Clock still rolling now as we approach a minute to play in the game.
No quit from Ames, though. Still trying to score, still trying to get a couple plays up.
Dropping back. Wings it over there in double coverage looking for Luth.
He got caught up. Luth got stuck behind someone, and I think could be looking at the last play here. Ames going to take a timeout, think of a last play here. Dar, we have an upset. The Valley Tigers and Gary Swenson, the Fighting Swensons, have upset Pleasant Valley on the road, 15-10.
Wow.
How about that?
Big win for them.
Pleasant Valley, a dome team last year. Ankeny wins 17-0. Centennial falls to Cedar Falls 14-10. A lot of finals starting to sneak in here.
Well, last year, Southeast Polk, the first round, they beat Johnston 57-7, beat Dowling 38-28, City High 33-7, and then Ankeny in the title game 24-7. They got rolling and didn't stop.
That Dowling game was good.
Yeah, it was a good ball game. That one knocked down.
That will do it.
Fourth down, and that'll be it. The clock will keep rolling and probably roll on out. As Southeast Polk will move to 9-1. Ames will fall to 6-4. A good season though for them.
Very good.
You know,
I mean, this is a program that didn't even sniff the postseason the last couple of years, and Brian Sauser comes in, changes the program, brings his son Dallas in, who will finish as a top 10 quarterback statistically in the state of Iowa. Just fell short, but the fact you made it to the playoffs, nice job to Ames. Congratulations. Southeast Polk, get ready. get Cedar Rapids Prairie next week.
So we'll take our final break, come back, and wrap this one up here on CISN.TV.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are so much more
Than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors. And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
Behind your everyday.
And we are.
Obsessively.
relentlessly.
At your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Final here tonight, Southeast Polk downs Ames 49-3 to advance in the playoffs. The Little Cyclones finished the season at 6-4. Things didn't get going until the second quarter, 7 seconds in. It was a fourth down play. Everybody thought it was going to Pusama, but they passed it over to Robbins. He went in from 38 yards out, made it 7-0. Then they forced a fumble, Southeast Polk did, and Sama ran it in from 14 yards out. It was 14-0. Ames did get a field goal in the second quarter. They're only scoring 4:29 to go, a 32-yard field goal, made it 14-3. Then Harrison Gibson, excuse me, can't read my own handwriting here. He went 49 yards to make it 21-3 with 3:01 to go. And then from there on out, it was all Southeast Polk. Sama scoring a 57-yarder. Gibson with a 12-yarder. Then a 78-yard interception return by Robbins on a freak play where it was tipped. Ames' ball was tipped. It came down to an offensive lineman. He starts chugging toward the end zone, was stripped. Robbins picks it up at the 22, gets a couple blocks and takes it in. And then finally, to mop it up, Vanderwert scored in the fourth quarter, and it's 49-3. So Southeast Polk advances, and they'll play right back here Friday night, right?
Yep, they will get Cedar Rapids Prairie, who defeated Linn-Mar. Great game tonight by Southeast Polk. They look like state tournament. They look like they're dome-bound, honestly. I think they have such a talented team. Credit to Ames. Heck of a season for Coach Salzer and his team to get back here to the playoffs. Just faced a buzzsaw in Southeast Polk that nobody really wanted to face. Shout out to Coach Salzer and his son, Dallas. Like I said, will be a go-down this year as the top 10, one of the top 10 passers of all time in passing yards total. It was a great game by Southeast Polk. They'll get to go back, look at the film, get ready for Cedar Rapids Prairie, who they shut out back on October 7th. So these Rams are dangerous. They are very good. I can't wait to see them, what they do it next week.
All right, the final here, 49-3. Keep your eyes out on our social media for the games we have next week. Thanks to Blake, Randy, Rachel, and Peter on the crew tonight. That's going to wrap it up from Southeast Polk. I'm Dar Danielson on CISN.TV.